Hello and welcome to Veracity PTE Speaking Read Aloud Lesson 2. This is the pronunciation guide for PTE frequently repeated words. Native pronunciation note 3. In order to speak like a regular native speaker, you want to prepare these academic words ending in L-O-G-Y. Now, a common mistake that a student makes normally is they speak it like biology. Especially a student from India will say something like biology, and then that is not correct. So, the thing to remember in this is that the O goes with the L. So, whenever you have a word ending in L-O-G-Y, remember that the O should go along with the L. So try to end it in O-L-O-G-Y, ology. Let's practice this sound first. O-L-O-G-Y is pronounced as ology, ology. Okay, so that is where the word will break. Let's look at example word. M-Y-T-H-O-L-O-G-Y is pronounced as mythology, mythology. It's not myth or anything. M-Y-T-H part is pronounced as myth, and O-L-O-G-Y part is pronounced as ology, as you can see from phonetic note. Let's practice. We have been studying ancient Greek mythology. We compared the two cultures' mythologies. There is a popular mythology that he discovered the cause of the disease by himself. Let's look at another word using the same concept. Remember to practice ology because that part will go together. Climatology is spoken as climb, right? K sound and then line, just like there is a line, right? And then atology, right? So climatology, climatology. Right? So practice saying that, use the phonetic note so that you can say it slowly first and then go faster. Climb a tall a G. Climatology, climatology, climatology. Right? So practice like that first. Use the phonetic notes. A lot of dictionaries use phonetic symbols. Now the problem with that is many of us don't know how to use those symbols. So I have written the word as we would pronounce it, right? I have not used the phonetic symbols or the notations that most common dictionaries use. Feel free to learn that. I do think that this will save time because you can directly look at the word and pronounce it just the way that it is written. So let's practice the sentence. Climatology is the science that deals with climates and their phenomena. Let us look at the next note, that is for the word microbiology. The same concept will apply. It is not microbiology. That is incorrect. I will take a break after the first L, microbiology. That is where I should break the word. Let's also look at the detailed phonetic note and then we'll practice this. Micro is spoken just like you say micro with a K sound. Biology. Microbiology. Now let us practice the sentences. The anthropogenic impact on mine microbiology was also apparent when the team of scientists examined the array of species inhabiting the mine's rock walls. His father, also a gastroenterologist, is a research scientist studying microbiology at the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research in Silver Spring. Now let's carry on with other words using the same concept, as this is one of the most crucial concepts to learn for the PTE academic. Zoology. Zoo, all a G. Zoology. Now let's practice it in a sentence. He was part of an expansive collecting trip launched by Harvard's Museum of Comparative Zoology. Word number 5 is paleontology. Look at the phonetic note to first learn how to break it down and read it, because the spellings are quite different from the way that it is pronounced. The spellings make it look like a big and scary word, but that's not true. So let's try the slow version first. Paleontology. 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 Right? So when you practice like that, you are going to remember it and you will not go wrong on the test. Now let's practice a sentence. To many Americans and nearly all young ones, paleontology can be summed up in one word: dinosaurs. I think that this will remind you of the sitcom Friends. I don't know if you've seen it, but if you have, the guy named Ross in the show is a paleontologist and he's obsessed with dinosaurs, right? So I'm sure that this is ringing a bell. The next word is again similar to paleontology in the sense that it looks very big and scary, but the phonetic note will make it quite easy for you. Archaeology can be broken down as the alphabet R, the alphabet K, and then the same thing, ology. Archaeology, archaeology. Slow, R-K-ology, and then fast, archaeology. Right, so let's read some sentences. She earned a Bachelor's of Arts degree and majored in archaeology. The archaeology of the Middle East and North Africa is exceptionally rich and diverse, giving insight into some of the earliest and most significant cultures in human history. Remember the first lesson? The M-E-N-T pronounced as munt and L-A-N-D at the end pronounced as lund. Significant follows the same sound pattern. Significant. Okay, let's proceed. Andy got fired from his day job as an archaeology professor. So remember that all the pronunciation notes are to be remembered and used together on the test day. Let's look at this word, meteorology. So the word starts with a meteor and then followed by an ology. And it looks complicated, but it's actually not. Let's read the phonetic note. Meet, as in meat, M-E-A-T, like you pronounce that word. E, as in alphabet E. O, as in alphabet O. Meet, E-O. Roll, a G. So let's try to speak it slowly first. Meet, E-O, roll, a G. And then the first part, we will slightly speeden up. Meteorology, meteorology, meteorology. Notice the change from meet, E-O, to meteo. The T has become soft. Now let us practice the sentences. Before joining WWL, Franklin, who owns a meteorology degree from South Alabama, was the morning meteorologist on crosstown rival WVUE. Teachman was born and raised in Hayesville. Began her broadcasting career in 1996 as a KSNW TV meteorology intern under Freeman. Another interesting thing to notice in the last sentence is the concept of Teachman and Freeman. Remember, it follows the same concept as land. When M-A-N comes at the end of a word, just like L-A-N-D, is pronounced like New Zealand. But when land is used to mean land, like forested lands or a large area, right? A vast land, then it is pronounced as land. So when you're talking about the milkman or the postman, in that case, the man refers to the person who is doing the job. But when the part M-E-M-A-N comes after a word, it becomes teachman, freeman, goldman, Lehman. You must have heard of Lehman Brothers, right? So it is not Goldman or Lehman, it is Goldman and Lehman, or Freeman and Teachman. That is the correct way to pronounce this. Another word here is Hayesville. V-I-L-L-E, the E is ignored and it is not pronounced Hayesville or Hayesvilla, it is Hayesville. And the next word to notice here is career. It is not carrier. Carrier is used to carry goods and is spelled like C-A-R-R-I-E-R. Remember that the way that you speak a word can completely change the word, and therefore the software will pick up the incorrect word. Therefore, wherever you are making these pronunciation errors, you need to first identify those errors by taking feedback from a live native speaker, and then you need to work upon those errors. So this is broadcasting a career. So I hope that this gave you some clarity about PTE pronunciation. Okay, let's continue. The next frequently repeated word is terminology. This one is quite easy and you can pretty much handle it by now. Terminology. Terminology. Let's read a few sentences and it will really help you. You pause the video after I speak and then you also practice after me. The game provides definitions of slang words and encourages users to suggest their own slang terminology. A ban, however, will be unnecessary because access and affordability would be so seriously compromised that the terminology is academic. This distinctive terminology describing how internet users would get information was in equal parts prophetic and motivated. Let us look at the next frequently repeated word, that is methodology. Let us first break it down and look at the phonetic note because a lot of people do not pronounce this word correctly. Method, the word has a th sound in the middle. Let's practice this sound. Th. This sound is formed when I place my tongue close to my upper teeth. Th. The tongue touches my upper teeth and sticks out when I'm speaking. Th. Meth. Methodology. Methodology. Now let us practice the sentences. He blamed the failure of their research on poor methodology. For solving crossword puzzles, my usual methodology is to begin by filling in all the answers I'm reasonably sure of. We are on the last word. I know, a very heavy lesson today, but quite important, probably the most important lesson for PTE academic, as these are all academic words that you will definitely get on the test. Some form of ology will definitely come. So let's look at this word, geology, the study of earth and rocks and stuff. Look at the phonetic note, G-ology. The second half remains the same. Geology, geology. Let's practice some longer sentences now. The geology of the Gulf of Mexico is not driven by plate tectonics, but is governed by thousands of meters of subsurface salt, the legacy of an ocean that covered the area 200 million years ago. The strait is a challenging place to build, with complicated geology, high seismic activity, and stormy weather. These strange complex configurations are part of the geology that created the conditions that allowed vast oil deposits to collect. Now let's look at another important concept. When these words are used in multiple ways in different forms, what is the correct pronunciation at that time? So remember that the concept that you have just learned will be applicable to all the words that end in OGY and OGIST. So biology and biologist, geology and geologist, they will take the same form, same kind of pronunciation. The O flows directly along with the L, the first O, right? So there is no break. It is not biology or geology. That is incorrect. It is biology and geology. It is not biologist and geologist. That is incorrect. The correct pronunciation is biologist and geologist. And this will obviously be applicable to all the words that can be made up with these suffixes. Now, there are two forms which are differently spoken. If the word ends in logical or logically, then the O is dropped from there. Then the break happens right before the L. Logical and logically. So let's look at these differences. First, let's start with biology. Biological. Biologically. Look at the phonetic notes. By the. There is a y sound. Biological. Biological. I'm not saying bio, remember? I'm saying bio. Biological. Biologically. So remember this. Whenever a word changes from L-O-G-Y to logical or logically, the form or the pronunciation will change. Let's look at geology. Geological and geologically. G-O. The same form, the same concept is applicable here as well. G-yo. There is not a hard yo in this case. It is more of G-yo. G-o, right? That was bio, right? So bio and G-o. Depending on the word, obviously, there will be these slight variations. Let's practice all four words together now. Biological, biologically. Geological, geologically. Remember that the PTE 2017 has been updated, and therefore you need the right guidance to get the right scores. This is one of our students' results. He's a first-time test taker. The report issue date is 26 June, as you can see, and you can see all the scores. Each section he has scored a 90. Therefore, you know that whatever strategies and lessons we share with you are verified and they really work on the test. To avail the YouTube subscribers discount on all enrollments with Veracity PTE, subscribe to the channel now. Leave us a comment down below mentioning whether you clearly understood this lesson. We hope that this was helpful for you. All the best for your preparation.